Thanks. I'm just getting my screen booted up here, and we'll start in just a second. Okay, so thanks for joining the Idaho Assistive Technology Project for our second in our series of webinars that focus on Apple devices and apps. I will be your presenter today, and my name is Dan Dyer, and I work for the Idaho Assistive Technology Project, and I'm down in Boise at the Boise Resource Center. So what is the Idaho Assistive Technology Project? It is a federally funded program that's administered by the Center on Disabilities and Human Development at the University of Idaho, and our goal is to increase the availability of assistive technology devices and services to Idahoans with disabilities. Assistive technology, defined, is a tool that can help a person do a task that they would otherwise find difficult or impossible to complete due to a disability. And Apple products like the iPad can be considered assistive technology for two main reasons. First, because they come installed with accessibility features, and because downloadable programs or apps can be installed in them that are themselves accessible. The IATP, or Idaho Assistive Tech Project, provides many services, and some of which you can see on your screen here. And included in these are assessment services for individuals with disabilities to provide them with recommendations of technology that may help them. The IATP also offers a low-interest loan program to help Idahoans buy technology, and you can actually use this low-interest loan program to purchase devices like the iPad or to help you purchase these devices. The IATP also offers regional lending libraries where any Idahoan can loan assistive devices like the iPad for a trial period for free or for free. And you can see those demo sites on the bottom there. There's one in Coeur d'Alene, one in Moscow, one in Boise, and one in Idaho Falls. So pretty much wherever you're at in the state of Idaho, there's a lending library pretty close to you, and we can definitely help you out and get you the devices that you need. So what is an Apple device? Basically, it's a portable computer, such as the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and the iPad. And all three of these devices do have similar functionality, yet each one has one or more key features that the other two lack. And Apple devices are growing in popularity because of their flexible multi-use ability and mainstream appeal that makes them exceptional tools for implementing in a special education or other disability-related setting. And out of these three devices that Apple offers, probably the most recommended one that we have requests for is the iPad. And the iPad has some great features. It's got a large touchscreen and a large on-screen keyboard. It's also important, though, to consider the iPhone and the iPod Touch when you're implementing one of these devices, as they may fit the end user's needs a little bit better than the other one. So what's an app? You've probably all heard of an app or application, but it's basically just a software program similar to traditional computer software. But instead of going on a traditional computer, you put it on one of these portable devices. The good thing about apps are they're available for just about any task that you want to perform, and most of them are free or pretty low cost. Most are under $2, a lot are 99 cents, and again, a lot of them are free. They also have to be approved by Apple, so you don't have to worry about viruses or malware when you download them. And then what makes these devices really exceptional is that from the ground up they're built with accessibility features, which is really nice for the disability population. And these are some of the disability supports that come pre-installed on these devices. The screen reader can be used to navigate and to hear text by low vision users or blind users. It can also be used as an important tool for those with dyslexia or other print disabilities. The white on black high contrast setting, that helps people who need a higher contrast to discern what's on the screen and can help with reading. Siri, that's a pretty new feature that just came out. It's only for the iPhone, only the new iPhone. And it basically reduces the amount of typing that you need to do on your iPhone because you can just talk to your phone and have it complete different tasks for you. The zoom and increased text size are designed for low vision users. And these features can also be beneficial for individuals who prefer to view less text per page, or those who normally use a ruler or other masking tool when they read printed text. The iPad keyboard can be difficult to type on, and it can be awkward when holding in one hand and having to type with the other one, trying to do that balancing act. And so what Apple did is they updated their iPad keyboard so that it can be split in the middle. And this allows users to grip either side of it and then just type with their thumbs, and it makes text entry a lot easier. And then the last one I've got listed here is phrase shortcuts. And basically, phrase shortcuts, they allow the user to designate words, sentences, or even entire paragraphs to certain keywords. For example, on the next slide that I have, I designated the abbreviation OMW to signify the phrase "on my way." And so all I have to do is type in OMW, and the iPad automatically types out "on my way" for me, saving me multiple keystrokes. And this is kind of how you do that. I know this slide's a bit jumbled, but let me walk you through it. So the top portion here, the first picture, that's how you set up this phrase shortcut. So you go into your settings icon, and then under shortcuts, you're going to want to define your keyword and the phrase that you want it to input. And so for this example, I've designated my shortcut OMW, and then as you can see on the right side, it's designated to pop out the phrase "on my way." And then when I'm typing anywhere on the device, which you can see at the bottom here, all I have to do is type in OMW, and then "on my way" pops out automatically. And that's where that yellow and red star is. So it just makes it a lot easier, and especially good for users with physical disabilities that have difficulty typing. So the new iPad just came out. I think it was on last Friday, and it actually has some pretty neat new features that are kind of outlined here. The first one is dictation, and that's built right into the keyboard. And so as you can see on the picture there, that there's a little microphone. And so if you have one of these new iPads, and it's also available on the new iPhone, you just tap that microphone and then you speak to your device, and it translates your speech into text and puts it right into the device. So it can be really great for people that have difficulty typing or spelling. You just speak into the device, and it prints the text into the device. The second new feature is the smart keyboard that suggests words, corrects spelling automatically. It can insert punctuations, so that can be very helpful for typing. And then the last one is the system-wide dictionary. And this is quite a big improvement for those of you that have used iBooks in the past. iBooks is a neat app that I'm going to get into here in a second, but you can actually just click on a word within iBooks, and it'll give you the option of seeing that word's definition automatically. And so what Apple has done is they've expanded that feature, and so now if you're working in a different app besides iBooks, you can still do that, where you just double tap on a word and you can see its definition. Just speeds up that process for users that need to commonly get definitions of words. So to enable these accessibility settings, you just click on that Settings tab right there in the middle. That'll open it up, and you'll see this window. And if you go into the General and then Accessibility Settings, you'll see on your iPad the different accessibility features that you can turn on and off. And if you're interested in accessibility, or if you think you need more help learning out how to complete these accessibility features, turn them on and off, and utilize them in the best way, there's a nice wiki space that actually has, I think, 7 or 8 5-minute or under YouTube videos that go through and explain step-by-step how to use all of the accessibility features. So this webinar is going to focus on reading, writing, and arithmetic or math. And the first category I'm going to explore is reading. And I stumbled across this great website that an Oregon teacher put together. And basically what she did in 2010, Ms. Jacqueline Fitch, fourth grade teacher in Oregon's Canby School District, implemented iPod Touch devices with 12 of her students that were below grade reading level. And after implementing these for a school year, she got some feedback, did some observations, and basically her findings were that, number one, she observed that the behavior improved while students were using their iPods. It just kind of motivated them to use it, and they were focused on the device, and so their behavior improved while they were using it. Student motivation to actually read books increased when they knew that the iPods would be used, but on the other hand, the likelihood that they would read that same book or a similar book on their own decreased. Then afterwards, the students themselves were surveyed about using the iPod to help them read, and all of the students replied that they thought the iPods helped make them better readers. Most of the students felt the audio helped them figure out words that they would normally have been stuck on. Students commented on the fact that comprehension was easier when they didn't have to struggle with words they didn't know, because the iPod would read that word to them. And they noted that the reader on the iPod was there to help them with hard words, and they were able to recognize these hard words much easier the next time that they came up in their reading. So some pretty positive results. Again, that's just one teacher in one school district, but she had some great results with it. So if you want to read on the iPad, there's several ways to do it. And as you can see from this slide, there are the 4 large internet retailers of electronic books do have iPad apps. You've got iBooks from Apple, Kindle from Amazon, Nook and Nook Kids from Barnes & Noble. So Barnes & Noble actually has 2 different apps that they offer. And then Google Play from Google has a nice iPad app. And so you can get all of these apps from different retailers on your iPad. And obviously, iBooks, being from Apple itself, is going to likely be your first choice for ebooks when you're using an Apple device. It is good to be aware that Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Google also do have these ebooks that you can use on your iPad, as each app will access a different store that will have slightly different material that you can download and possibly differing prices. If you're going to be using Apple's VoiceOver feature to read the books to you or your students, you're probably going to want to stick with iBooks or Google Play, as the other 2 don't have very good track records with supporting the VoiceOver feature. But with iBooks, you're definitely going to be all right using the VoiceOver, and Google Play lists that it does support the feature. And then on the Nook Kids app actually gives access to the largest selection of children's books currently available for download on the internet. So if you're looking for specifically children's books, I'd definitely look into the Nook Kids. So this is iBooks, and once you download a book in iBooks, you can enable the VoiceOver feature to have it read to you, the book read to you. And so how you do this is you go back to your menu settings, enable the voice reader, and then go back to iBooks. Once you have the voice reader turned on, all you have to do is touch a line of text, and it will be automatically read to you. And if you want to have continuous reading, you just swipe down with 3 fingers and it will read the entire book to you if that's what you want it to do. It won't highlight as it goes along, which is a feature that some people like and some people need. And then actually, iBooks allows the physical highlighting of text, addition of notes that are similar to sticky notes, and other features such as bookmarking. And once you've made notes or you've highlighted text in an iBook, these notes and highlights can be viewed independently of the rest of the book for studying purposes. Or you can take these notes and highlights and email them or print them. So theoretically, a K-12 teacher could use this technique to, by asking her students to highlight and comment on important sections of a book that she's assigned. And once completed, the students could email this material to their teacher to give the teacher a sense of class comprehension and interaction with the reading material. It's a pretty nice little feature built into iBooks, and again, iBooks is free, a free download. So now I'm going to play just a short video about the textbooks that you can actually get through iBooks now. And I apologize if you have a slower connection, this might not come through. But basically it's just demoing a sample textbook and the interactability of it. And so you can actually have embedded videos in your textbook that you just click on to view. Really nice pictures, you can swipe through it. And Apple did recently partner with the major K-12 textbook publishers. And this made a lot of textbooks commonly found in schools available for download. So this app is on Read2Go, and Read2Go is designed to download books straight from Bookshare, and Bookshare is an online service of accessible books for the print disabled. And this is a great app. It is only a reader, and so while it will do text-to-speech and it'll highlight words as they are read, it doesn't have the comparable study features that iBooks does about highlighting text and pulling those notes out later. It costs $19.99, but there are bulk discounts available to schools. And it will read DAISY, which is an accessible book format, but it will also read other formats. And if you don't want to spend the $19.99 on this app, but you still want an app that will read text to you and highlight the words as it goes along, there is an app for $4.99 called VBooks that you can download. So for audiobooks, there's a couple sources. Learning Ally has over 3,000 classic audiobooks for free that you can download if you qualify for their service. And if you don't qualify for that service, you can download just the audiobooks app that's a free alternative. And it provides a simple and straightforward way to listen to many classic and best-selling audiobooks. With the free audiobooks app, you can download just tons of different books in the public domain for free, and you can also buy books, newer books or bestsellers, that kind of stuff. So these are two resources that you can use. Would be good for a classroom setting. Say if you find an article online that you want to share with your students, what you can do is use .epub to convert that article into an ebook that you can then send out to all of your students' iPads or Apple devices for them to read. And it's really easy. You just, on your computer, you'll have your web browser up, and say you find an article that you like. All you have to do is just click a button. It automatically puts it into an ebook format, and then it can be opened by your students. PDF Notes for Free. This is an app that you download for your iPad, and it will open up PDF files. And so this will allow you to scan in material and then send it out to your students' devices, and they can read it. So here are some apps for young reading. See, Read, Say basically just shows you a picture of a word, and then you press the button to hear that word read for comprehension. Word Wizard, that's the one pictured here on top. And basically it just gives you a couple of rows of the alphabet, and then you can interact with those words, pull them up, and make words out of them. Also includes voice quizzes where a voice will tell you to spell a word, and then you have to figure out how to spell it, and it'll tell you if you're right or not. Starfalls, ABCs. This is an app for interacting with letters and words by moving them around the screen. And there are also little games and letter mazes built into it for fun. Sienna Entertainment, this is for the younger children and has less of a focus on reading and more on interactivity. But it's still a fun app, and they have a few different books out there like The Itsy Bitsy Spider or The Three Little Pigs. ABC Expedition, this is an app for learning the alphabet by interacting with different animals, which can be motivating. And then Ocean House Media, these are different books that are free or low cost that are really neat take on classic kids books like The Cat in the Hat. And so here's a screenshot of Cat in the Hat. And as you can see, it looks just like the standard printed book, but there are some really neat features where it'll read the text to you. And then if you click anywhere on the screen, it'll have words pop out or little noises, and it just makes a really fun way to interact with this classic book. And if you're interested in books for young reader, here's just a list of a bunch more that you're free to look into on your own time. There's some good ones. If you're a Dr. Seuss fan, there's Green Eggs and Ham, or there's Clifford. A few different ones there. So now we're going to get into apps for writing. And so I've listed here 3 different apps that are free. One is already going to be installed on your device, and then you can download these other 2 for free. And between the 3, you can create a pretty cool little multimodal interactive writing center for your students or your child. And these different apps are Notes. That's the one that's going to be built in, so it'll be on your device already. the whiteboard, which is kind of like what it sounds, just like a whiteboard that you can draw on, and then magnetic alphabet that you can move the alphabet letters around. And so for free, you can have all three of these apps for your younger student just starting to write. These are really great. The ABC magnetic alphabet, you move around the letters to interact with words, and it includes magnets of animals and other things, so kids can create little picture stories that incorporate words, and so they can use the different animals or different shapes to build like a landscape or a forest, and then have words built into it. So just makes it a little bit more fun and interactive. With the whiteboard app, you can create drawings and pictures using mini drawing tools. You can work with the whiteboard to draw letters and words. And actually with this one, two people can work on the same whiteboard drawing at the same time over a Wi-Fi network, which could be really fun, have two people drawing on the same picture. And then notes, this one comes pre-installed, and it's pretty similar to just a standard paper notepad. Users can take notes and email them to their teachers or themselves for later reviews using this app. Here's two apps for learning to write letters. The iWrite Words on the left, this is a free app, and you trace the letter correctly to view a cute little movie at the end that can increase student motivation. And then the one on the right, the Fish School HD, is $1.99, and basically you watch and interact with fish as they form different letters. And you can use this app to teach letters, numbers up to 20, as well as shapes, colors, and also to practice the ABC song. And then Sentence Builder. You build sentences with this simple slot machine-like ticker. There's 3 different levels of play in increasing difficulty, 60 animations to increase motivation, and teachers can actually track student progress through statistics that this app will generate. So here are some apps for word processing, and this is going to be for older people, basically to create longer documents. Pages, this is the one on top here. It's the official word processing app from Apple. You can use it to open, edit, and publish documents. It has pre-made templates for school reports, as well as an outlining mode, which can be really nice to kind of build your thoughts together and then start typing on them. It also works with Microsoft Word, which is nice for PC users. And documents that are created in it can be exported as ebooks. And so you can create a document, export it as an ebook, and then easily share it with anyone else that has a portable device. Typo. This typing program includes word prediction, text-to-speech, as well as spell checking. And if you're not sure what word prediction is, it's a way that a program predicts what word you're trying to type and what word it thinks you might type next. And so word prediction can help struggling spellers and people with word per minute difficulties. Text-to-speech, on the other hand, can help those with spelling difficulties, word recognition difficulties, as well as dyslexia verify that the word they've typed is correct and that their sentences are formed correctly by listening to the word or the sentence they've built after they've written it. They can hear it played back to them. And obviously, spell check can help everyone. And so Typo is a great app, but I'd only recommend it be used on the iPad 1 or the iPad 2. As most of the features that this app Typo has are already going to be built into the new iPad 3, so you won't probably need to spend the $14.99 on it. But if you have an older generation model of the iPad, I'd recommend it for struggling writers. And then the one on the bottom there, Documents 2. This is just a very basic word processing program. It allows the opening, creation, and editing of common document formats. And it's really a must for those working with Microsoft Word documents that don't want to pay for the Pages app. Now this next app is called Dragon Dictate, and this is a speech-to-text app. You just speak and it'll translate it into text. And again, mainly it's going to be useful for the iPad 1 or the iPad 2, as the new iPad will have this functionality built into its keyboard. I haven't had a chance to demo the new iPad's speech recognition, so I don't know if it's comparable to Dragon Dictates. If it's not, then you still might want to use Dragon Dictate because it is pretty accurate. Two different notes for taking notes, Notability and Evernote, two pretty great apps. Both of these apps allow the user to input text, pictures, audio, and they allow the user to input text, pictures, and audio into each note. Notability is neat because it actually syncs the audio it records to the words that you type. And this allows you to go back later, click on the words that you've typed, and hear the audio that was spoken at that precise moment. Now this is great for an educational setting because if your notes are lacking, you can actually click on them and hear the professor speak. Next app is Pictello. Pictello is a simple way to create talking photo albums and talking books. Each page in a Pictello story can contain a picture, up to 5 lines of text, as well as a recorded sound or text-to-speech using high-quality voices. Pictello is developed for all ages and skill levels, so it's easy to use and requires no reading skills to locate and read stories. Pictello offers an easy visual story creation wizard so that everyone can use pictures and sound to share important moments in their lives. Just a really neat app for recording social stories. This app here is called Spellings, and basically it's designed so that you can play a spelling test game where you hear the word that the app wants you to type, and then you type in your answer, and it tells you if you spelled it correctly or not. Other similar spelling games are included in this app. Wikipedia. This can be used both for reading and writing. I put it in the writing section because you can obviously do a little bit of research, even though you're not really supposed to in a lot of educational settings. But you can look things up and at least get an idea. And so actually Wikipedia has two really great apps. Wiki Offline, this is the more expensive one, and you can actually enjoy the full text of all Wikipedia articles offline. So you don't have to be connected to the internet, and you can actually have Wikipedia right there on your device. Look through different things. You can search through just the titles, or you can actually search through the contents of all the articles, and so you can find exactly what you need. And then there's Wikibot, which is basically the alternative to Wiki Offline that only really works when you're online. So if you are connected to the internet and you have Wikibot, you can search through Wikipedia, and it just makes it really nice. It'll save the articles that you've looked at previously, so you can view them again offline. And you might be thinking, why should I pay money for Wikipedia when I can just get on the internet through my device and look at Wikipedia? And the main reason is because these apps are really visually appealing. It just makes Wikipedia, the experience of Wikipedia, a lot more enjoyable. Definitely, if you're interested in Wikipedia or if you use it a lot, I'd recommend these apps. So a couple apps for outlining. MindNode on the left here is just a very basic outlining map. It'll just do basic outlines, different structures. It's not very advanced, but it does work. And then iThoughts HD on the right. This one's a lot more advanced, and it has the ability to create different task lists. You can brainstorm with this app, do project planning, goal setting, concept mapping. You can actually use this app to take course notes as well as meeting notes. So it's a pretty complex app. Works great for the visual learner. And then just a reminder that Apple's Pages app, that app that I went over a few minutes ago for word processing, does include an outlining mode. Okay. Sorry, my computer froze up there for a second, but I think we're ready to go. This next slide that I have is on the series of apps that the company EdApps has created. And EdApps is unique because you can use these different apps, these 5 different apps, to monitor student use of their applications and also their devices. So if your students have, or your child have one of these apps on their iPad and they launch it, the student's device will be discovered and displayed as a thumbnail on your computer, so you can tell that they're using that app. You can view the app that the current student is using, and you can also view the last URL that they visited. You can monitor your students' progress in the app and see their quiz scores. Students can silently request help from the teachers through their apps, and you can also monitor battery status, and you can even poll your students with true or false or multiple choice questions. The Spellboard app on the top right, this allows you to create spelling quizzes, and these quizzes can then be pushed out to all of your students' devices. Simple Math and MathBoard create basic arithmetic problems that students can interact with and solve. MathBoard there is $4.99, but the version below it, the one on the bottom left, that only has Edition, you can download that one for free. And so if you're interested in these apps, you can download MathBoard Edition for free and just get an idea of their functionality. This next slide is on math games. And this would be for your younger learner. And there's a lot of different math games out there. I just chose to feature 2. Math Bingo is great. It's just basically what it sounds like, a bingo game with math. And you can choose from 4 different games within the app, one for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And then if you don't want to pay the 99 cents for the Math Bingo, you can try Math Puppy, which is free, and it's pretty similar. It has a bingo game in it. So for telling time, there's a couple different apps for that. Kid Clock or Interactive Telling Time. They both work pretty good, have different little activities to try and help people learn to tell time, and also the difference between digital and analog clocks. Calculators. There is a graphing calculator app, and it turns your iPhone, iPod, iPad into an intuitive high-resolution function plotter and scientific calculator. KidCalc, this one includes interactive games where the kid actually kind of becomes the calculator. And then JumboCalc, this one's free, and it's basically just what it sounds like, a jumbo calculator, so a large calculator on your device that just does the normal features of a calculator. For money counting, there's a couple apps listed here that work pretty good. For the Count Money app on the left there, you can add your own voice into it so that your toddler can learn everything in their parent's voice. It includes audio hints if they get stuck on something. And you can actually take your own images with this app and import them so that they might respond better to real pictures. Jungle Coins, you can kind of, that's the one on the right here, you can kind of get a sense of what that one does just by the picture. It will give you different coins and then prompt you with different questions, and you have to sort the coins to match the prompt. And then some more math apps for young learners. Arithmaroo. This has 4 different levels of different difficulty, 4 different age groups as well. I believe it goes all the way up to age 21. And basically it'll just show you different rocks or different animals, and you have to count them out and then input your answer at the bottom, and it'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And the one on the right, this one's pretty fun. It's free too, so I'd recommend downloading it if you're interested. Basically, each bubble contains a different number, like 7, and then like one will contain the number 7, and then another bubble will contain 3 plus 4. And so you pop those bubbles in order to get them correct. And it just makes it into more of a game because the bubbles kind of fly around and disappear, and so you have to pop them before they go away. Fractions. There's one called Fractionator for 99 cents, and it has large displays with fractions and decimal equivalents that always appear together. There's a progress bar to illustrate fractions in real time, and it's a pretty cool, pretty good fraction teaching tool for all ages. And then again, if you don't want to pay the 99 cents for that one, there's a similar one called Freddy Fraction that's free. Statistics, there's one called Percentily. Percentily is a tally counter that automatically converts tallies to percentages, and it can enable progress tracking in education, in an education setting. And once you have your percentages, you can copy that data to put in a different app, or you can create spreadsheets with it through Google Docs, or you can just email it. For algebra, this one is a little expensive, but it offers 132 different algebra lessons. And every lesson that it offers features a video example. Also, interactive practice problems and worksheets are included in each lesson. And with this app, you can teach and work on simplifying equations, word problems, inequalities, functions, linear equations, systems of equations, exponents, factoring, rational expressions, radicals, quadratics, imaginary and complex numbers, as well as parabolas. So it covers quite a few different areas of algebra. One for calculus that I found that looked pretty neat is called Video Calculus. Video Calculus covers everything from limits and derivatives to differential equations and vector calculus. By downloading Video Calculus, you can have access to 15 lessons for free. Then if you want more, you can upgrade. And it's important to note that this is only a teaching tool. It's not interactive beyond the ability to take notes in the app on the different lessons that you're viewing. But for a free download, it can be beneficial if you have someone that's struggling with learning calculus. Here are a couple apps to take measurements. The Multi-Measure app includes a stopwatch, a timer. Actually, it includes a seismometer that detects vibrations, which is kind of neat. It includes a plumb bob to check if an object is perfectly vertical. It includes a surface level, a ruler, and a protractor. And then Tapulator Pro. This gives you, it's kind of a calculator because it gives you the ability to add, subtract, multiply, and divide measurements. And you can actually use this app as a ruler itself, as it'll convert your device screen into a ruler, and then you can just put your device against whatever you're trying to measure and actually use your device as a ruler. And then the last one for math that I'm going to show is the series from Wolfram. And Wolfram offers a series of pretty well-received apps that focus on the main categories of mathematics. The apps include instructions and problems that the user can solve, as well as review exercises. And each app listed here that you can see the Wolfram Pre-Algebra, Algebra Calculus, Pre-Calculus, and Multivariable Calculus, they're either $1.99 or $2.99. So pretty cheap and just, you know, like I said, pretty well-received apps. So if you're looking for a company that's been well-reviewed, this one's great for math. So here are some accessories that might help the people you're working with read, write, as well as do mathematics on the iPad, iPod, or iPhone. The first one is a stylus, and this can be helpful with many of the apps listed in this presentation, especially like the whiteboard app, as fingers can be too bulky to accurately click on some of the smaller items that appear on the iPad screen. This makes a stylus much more expedient to use. Key guards. This is at the bottom left of your screen here. These can be created for specific apps, and a keyguard can be purchased to go over the iPad keyboard, which will allow those with physical disabilities to access the screen more easily and reduce mistakes. External keyboards, these can greatly increase your words per minute when you're typing, especially if you're going to be typing longer documents. I'd recommend an external keyboard. And then the Braille pen. This is an example of a Braille display for blind individuals or individuals who are blind, and they can use these Braille displays such as the Braille pen with their iPad to display text in Braille. And they can also use a Braille keyboard to input text back into the device. And these devices connect wirelessly through Bluetooth, which the iPad supports. This question comes up a lot. People are excited about these devices, but they may not necessarily have the money to purchase them. So here are some funding options: vocational rehabilitation, Medicaid, but only if you're on the self-direction waiver. The IATP's alternate financing program, that's the Idaho Assistive Technology Project's alternative financing program that I mentioned at the start of this presentation. And there's also the Snaps for Kids funding directory list, and that's a website that just houses a list. The State Department of Education will at times have tech grants, and then the last one there is donorschoose.org. And what that is an online charity that makes it easy for anyone to help students in need. Basically, public school teachers post classroom project requests on donorschoose.org. And then the public can browse through these requests and give any amount to the one that inspires them the most, and then that money is distributed to the teacher. And I think I'll click on this Snaps for Kids directory list just to give you an idea of the different funding sources they have listed here. And hopefully you can see that. I'm booting up my web browser now. So here's Snaps for Kids and their funding source directory. And actually, Snaps for Kids, the main reason they have this website is just so you can go on there and search through different apps and get recommendations about the apps. So this is a really good website to find apps, as well as this funding sources directory. And it lists different organizations that offer grants for these devices. And there's quite a few. Looks like a couple more have been added since the last time I was here. All right, and then upcoming webinars. There are 3 more in this series. The first one was last week, then this one today, and then there's, in the upcoming weeks, there's one on communication, apps in the workplace, and apps for seniors. And feel free to click on those links or go to the Idaho Training Clearinghouse if you'd like to register and attend those. We'd definitely like to have you. And again, I want to stress this point: if you need help with an iPad or app recommendations, or if you just want more information on assistive technology that might not have anything to do with the iPad, feel free to give us a call. You can call us for technical assistance at 800-IDA-TECH. You can request an assessment where we'll actually sit down and work with people to make recommendations about what technology we think will help them. Or you can loan a device from us for free for a trial period, just to make sure it'll fit your needs before you have to go out and purchase it. And you can also look at our apps by clicking on the link below on this slide. And if you go to that website, it'll just show you all of the different apps that the IATP currently owns. And so you can browse through what we have. All right, so I'll take any questions that you have, and if you'd like to download this PowerPoint as well as the script that I use, you can do that at the website that you see here. So yeah, feel free to type in any questions that you have. Thanks. Okay, we don't have any questions, and still got about 10 minutes, so I got a couple supplemental slides that I just threw on here just in case I had a few minutes left. So if you want to stick with me, feel free. Here is a slide on the cost of these types of devices. As you can see, the iPad costs $499 for the base model, and it goes up to around $829, I believe, is the top price. If you'd like to buy an iTouch, those start at $199, and an iTouch is basically an iPod Touch, and they go up from there. If you're interested in the iPhone, that one, if you just want to purchase it outright, starts at $199. But if you want to buy an older model of the iPhone, you can actually get it really cheap, as long as you get a service contract through AT&T or Verizon. I think you can get it for like $2 if you sign that contract and do that commitment. And the iPhone can be a great device, really good for older students as an all-in-one device, so they don't have to carry around a device and a cell phone, because it's basically built into it. This app, I Love Fireworks, as well as the next app, Pocket Pond. These are two just really great interactive games that can teach basic touching and swiping skills on the iPad. They're both free, and they're just kind of fun. The I Love Fireworks app, again, it's free, and then it comes with these little games where like little bombs will fly up on the screen and you have to swipe in front of them to get rid of them. And Pocket Pond just has different fish floating around. Pretty neat app to look at, and you can tap on the fish and they'll kind of swim away. The iPad Simulator. If you don't have an Apple device, but you'd still kind of like to get a feel of how they operate, this is a good app to write down and go to. It opens up through your web browser, but it gives you access to the basic features of the iPad, and so you can do swiping, and you can open up some of the apps and look at them and just kind of explore it. And then different websites for finding and evaluating special education apps. The first one here is Free App Alert, and this is a neat website. It just lists apps that are free, new apps that are free that just came out, or apps that previously cost money but have changed and are now free. It'll list them, and it's just kind of a nice website to go to get apps on different for different tasks and variabilities for free. iPads for Learning, that's the second one. This is a great website. It has, I believe it's out of Canada, but it has some really great tips for implementing an iPad in the classroom, kind of some do's and don'ts, and some student experiences and feedback about what they like about using the iPad. And then the last one here, Apple actually has a category for special education apps. And so if you go to that website, it'll pop up the Apple Store, and it'll just list apps that have been designated for special education. So you'll have a lot of communication apps, apps for reading and writing, apps for vision or hearing, that kind of thing. So it's kind of neat. Spectronics. This is a great list compiled by Jane Farrell. And if you're interested in apps for communication, which is going to be the focus of our webinar next week, this website breaks down and lists pretty much every app available for communication and kind of the pros and cons of it. And that is at Spectronics, inoz.com. Or Spectronics, yeah, spectronicsenote.com. Babies with iPads, this is a blog that focuses on implementing iPads with babies, and just kind of some of the do's and don'ts and their favorite apps. Apps for children with special needs. This is just this is a huge website that lists thousands and thousands of apps. Just another good resource to look through apps and to find apps that might be beneficial for you. And then Snaps for Kids, this is the one that I opened up earlier that lists the funding sources directory. And then finally, Google. You can actually do a Google search. So you just type in what you're looking for. So say I'm looking for a communication app. I can just type in communication, Google that, and then on the left side you can click on applications, and it will filter through all of the search results to only show apps. And this is a great way just to get a feel for what's out there for different apps. And it's really quick to do and use. So that kind of wraps up the extended portion anyway. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll stay on for a little while longer, and if not, or if you come up with questions down the road, feel free to give us a call at the Idaho Assistive Technology Project. Thanks.